How's it going, everyone? RaMTEID here. For today I wanted to take a look into some of the differences and the small things that were implemented by DICE when comparing the Battlefield 1 Alpha to the Beta. Now some of this will be small positives, some of this will be small negatives. I don't want to focus on the big things right now. Some of the big things are still the same from the Alpha. I did do a video on the Alpha that showed some of the things, and this will be referring back to that video. I'll try to have the link for that down in the description below if you guys want to check that out. So first up, I just want to point out the graph when it comes to the weapons, in particular sniper rifles, because this is where this edition really helps out the most. Now, from the Alpha, they did have the same graph. It shows the damage output and the bullet drop, and if you remember, some of these sniper rifles have a sweet spot. The problem with this was we didn't know the ranges on any of this. However, now they added in the ranges, so as you can see here, it goes from 0 all the way up to 300 meters. This is a good addition. I'm glad they put it in. I figured they would put it in anyway, but I'm glad to see it in the game before the final release. Next up is a small addition they added to the end of round stats that I wanted to point out, because I do like this change as well. They have it to where you can check out the highlights from the match itself. You can check out your personal stats, the overall scoreboard, and the squad that you were in, which is something I like because it allows you to go in and check out your squad and how you guys did together overall when it comes to the flag captures, defends, enemies killed by vehicles, and enemy vehicles destroyed. Next up, I wanted to point out something that they actually changed and fixed since the Alpha. If you remember with the melee weapons, some of them actually have perks over the others. Now with the hatchet, one of the perks is that you can take down barbed wire. Now in the Alpha, you could take it out, but it would still physically be there, just not visually. Now in the beta, I wanted to test this out, and I did have a chance to, and I tested it out several times. This is just one of the times. But as you can see, if you hit it, it takes it out, and it actually is no longer there at all. So you don't take any damage from it anymore once it's destroyed, which is a good update because it was quite annoying in the Alpha when you would take out barbed wire and still take damage from it. Now, there were other melee weapons in the beta that we didn't have access to in the Alpha, and one of them, it was interesting. It showed something with the tank. I don't know what that perk is really supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to damage the tank, maybe. I did try that on an enemy tank, and it didn't seem to do anything, so that's something I look forward to when the primary game comes out to see what that's about. Now, there was a small issue with the support class. You may not have known this, but with the small ammo bag, it replenished ammo immediately. So you could throw a grenade, throw a small ammo bag, and immediately get another grenade, which I've done here. The problem with this is you can grenade spam real easily. I did it. A lot of other people did it. And there are a few ways that they could address this. The first way they could do this is to make it to where the small ammo bag doesn't replenish ammo at all. Another way is that they can make it to where the grenades are replenished on a time delay, a few seconds or more, when compared to the ammo for your weapon. They could just make it to where it's a delay in general, as it's not a complete replenish of your ammo, but it takes 10 seconds or so to get everything back. Or they can make it to where your ammo is replenished immediately, however the grenades take a few seconds. All of those are viable options. I kind of hope they don't make it to where it doesn't replenish ammo at all, but I am interested to see what DICE does with this. Now when it comes to the TNT, I thought it was pretty weak. I'm not sure if they're going to have any sort of sticky bombs in the game, but it was pretty difficult to get up close to tanks in general a lot of the time. And then when you did, the TNT didn't stick, so they could get away from you easily enough. On top of that, there were people complaining that it was really difficult to take out infantry with the TNT, which I think is a bit ridiculous. I understand where they're coming from on this because of the C4 abuse in prior Battlefield games. However, this does make TNT not much of an option when it comes to taking out enemy vehicles. It's something that these are the only two highlights here I even have of using it because it wasn't worth using. You know, after I unlocked the AT rocket gun, I went with that over the TNT. So this is something I think they really need to take a look at and figure out because it's not a very viable option and they need to beef it up in some form. Now, the problem is, if they do make it to where it sticks, people may abuse that with the horse. Maybe they can make it some way to where it doesn't stick to the horse. That would balance that particular issue out. As for this is another problem that we saw in the alpha. It's funny to see, but they really need to do something about this as well, because it's ridiculous to even see this in a match. It's when a plane crashes. You'll see right here, it hits and then it just goes into the spin, and instead of blowing up, and it takes a second for it to actually blow up. So they need to do something about that delay. It needs to blow up much sooner. It's funny to see, but at the same time, I think it takes a lot from the game itself. So if you guys have any input on some of the things I pointed out in this video, or even some of the things that I didn't point out, feel free to leave a comment down below with your thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more of these Battlefield 1 videos, feel free to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you have, thank you, I appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. RaMTEID out.